When Nyaya James opened her eyes, the room was engulfed in darkness. It wasn't just because there was no electricity. It was a reflection of the poverty, helplessness, and harsh realities of her life. Her home was an old, crumbling apartment where water leaked from the ceiling and the floor was always cold. Her mother, Nyaya James, worked as a cleaner in a factory. Every morning at 5, she would leave the house and return in the evening, exhausted. Nyaya often felt pain in her heart when she saw the blisters on her mother's hands, but she would quietly hold those hands and kiss them. One day, when Marcia returned home tired, Nyaya asked, "Mom, what is your boss like?" Marcia paused for a moment before replying, "He's strict. Nothing comes easy. He just gives orders." That day, Nyaya made a silent promise. "One day I will have my own factory, and people will work under me, but with dignity. I won't let another woman like my mother be forced to bow down." That dream settled in her eyes, like a tiny seed ready to grow into a mighty tree with time. Today was uniform day at Nyaya's school. All the children were supposed to come in clean and tidy clothes, but Nyaya had only one old uniform, the same one she had been wearing for the past 3 years. Several kids made fun of her. "Hey, Nyaya, did your grandpa give you that uniform?" She would laugh it off, but deep inside it stung. But today also held a quiet joy for her. She had taken part in an essay competition titled My Dream. When the principal walked onto the stage and called out Nyaya's name, the entire hall fell silent. "The first prize goes to Nyaya James." In her essay, Nyaya had written, "I want to own a factory. I want everyone in my factory to work with dignity, no matter their color or race. And I want my mother to be with me, sitting peacefully sipping tea, with no work to do." All the teachers applauded. For the first time, some of the children looked at Nyaya with respect. Her mother, Marcia, stood in the last row, tears of joy shining in her eyes. It was the first day Nyaya truly felt that dreams weren't just meant for sleeping. They could be seen while wide awake. Nyaya was slowly beginning to change. The little girl who once felt ashamed of her skin, her hair, and her poverty had started to look at herself closely in the mirror each day and say, "I am enough. I am beautiful. I will build my own world." But the journey was not easy. One day, when the students were asked to give a career presentation in class, Nyaya stood up with quiet confidence and said, "One day, I will become a businesswoman. I'll own a factory where people will work with dignity." Some kids began to laugh. A boy named Jack, whose father owned a major company, smirked and said sarcastically, "You? A factory? Fix your shoes first." His words hit her like an arrow, but she stayed silent. That evening, standing in front of the mirror, she told herself, "One day all these people will work for me, and that day is not far away." That night, she took a big step. On the last page of her old notebook, she wrote the title, "Dream of My Factory." And underneath, she listed key points. Factory name, Marcia Industries product, clothing manufacturing, especially strong, affordable, and stylish clothes for women. Principles, dignity, equality, progress. When her mother saw the notebook, she asked, "What's this, Nyaya?" Nyaya smiled and replied, "Mom, this is the blueprint of your rest. One day you won't work there anymore. You'll just reign like a queen." Her mother embraced her. She knew the dream wasn't an easy one, but her daughter had a heart of steel. Time passed, and Nyaya had now entered middle school. Her dreams were no longer childlike. She didn't just imagine, she planned. Nyaya James was still working at the factory. When she came home at night, exhausted, Nyaya would make her tea and sit beside her, sharing stories from her day, but those stories usually revolved around one theme: when I have my factory. One day, their business education teacher, Mr. Freeman, assigned a project: Create your own small business plan. Most students chose typical ideas, lemonade stands, bakeries, or ice cream shops. But Nyaya had something else in mind. She opened her old notebook and brought her dream of Marsha Industries to life. As she gave her presentation, the classroom was silent. Nyaya spoke clearly. My company will design clothes for women who work hard all day, strong, beautiful, and affordable clothing. We won't just sell products, we will sell respect. The teacher smiled and said, Nyaya, you don't just dream, you lead. That very day, the school opened applications for the Young Entrepreneur Scholarship. Nyaya filled out the form without hesitation. The question read, why do you want to win this scholarship? Nyaya wrote, I want to win this scholarship for my mother, so she can finally receive what she gave up for me. Weeks later, when the results came out, Marsha returned home from work to find Nyaya waiting at the door, arms wide open, beaming with joy. Mom, I did it! I got the scholarship! Tears welled up in Marsha's eyes, but they were tears of happiness. My daughter has started to fly. Her dreams are no longer just on paper, they're reaching the sky. After winning the scholarship, Nyaya's confidence soared to the skies. She was now enrolled in a special business program, where she had the chance to learn directly from some of the most successful people in the city. She absorbed every lecture, every note, every moment, like a thirsty traveler drinking water in a desert. But the road to success is never smooth. One day during the program, Nyaya received devastating news. Her mother had fallen seriously ill. She had been injured by a machine at the factory. The hospital bills were high, and insurance barely covered the essentials. Nyaya whispered to herself, I'm at the top of my class. I won a scholarship. And yet we're still so helpless. That night, she skipped an important meeting of the scholarship program to take her mother to the hospital. For the next several days, she was absent from the program. Her instructors were disappointed. Some of her peers whispered behind her back, that's what happens with people like her, all fired up at first, then they disappear. During those days, Nyaya felt as if her dreams were slipping into fog. One evening, as her mother slept, she sat alone on the hospital lawn, holding that same old notebook, Marsha Industries. Slowly, she turned to a new page and wrote, Disappointment is temporary. Dreams are permanent. I may have fallen, but this is not the end. This is just a turn in the road. The next morning, she returned to the program. As some faces looked down in quiet judgment, Nyaya stood tall and said, I'm back, and now I'll learn more, give more, and grow more than ever before. There was a light in her eyes now, the kind of light only seen in those who've learned how to break through the fog of despair and find their way to the dawn. Nyaya James was slowly recovering in the hospital. Her hand would never be the same again, but to Nyaya, it was still the strongest shield in the world. That day, Nyaya was preparing for her final presentation for the scholarship program. She knew. This was the moment that would lay the foundation for the empire of her dreams. Marsha lay on the hospital bed as Nyaya sat beside her. Mom, tomorrow I'll speak in front of everyone about our factory, our dream. Marsha gently held her daughter's hand and said, Nyaya, remember, if your dream only includes you, it's too small. But if it brings light into other lives, then it's a gift from God. Nyaya's eyes welled up. That very night, she gave her presentation a new title, A Dream That Isn't Mine Alone. The next day, she stood on the stage of the business program auditorium. In front of her sat some of the most successful business people, black, white, men, women, all eyes on Nyaya. She began to speak. My name is Nyaya James. My mother worked in a factory. When she got hurt, I realized this system needs to change. That's why I want to build a factory where people are valued. My employees, no matter their race, gender, or background, will be treated with dignity. And yes, some of the men sitting here today might one day work under me, but their heads won't be bowed. They will hold them high with pride because I'll create a workplace where they are respected, not reduced. The entire hall fell silent. Then a storm of applause erupted, and on Nyaya's face was that same light, the light of her mother. After the presentation, everything began to change, quickly and forever. Not only was Nyaya awarded the scholarship with full funding, but a well-known local investor, Mr. Harper, also met with her afterward. "Nyaya, there's truth in your words, and your vision is ahead of its time. I want to invest with you in a small production unit." Nyaya's eyes lit up, but she said, "Sir, I need your money, but on my terms." Mr. Harper smiled. "Of course, you're a leader, and a partnership with a good leader is always a wise deal." And so Nyaya's first mini-production unit began. She rented an old warehouse, installed 2 machines, and hired her very first employee, an elderly white laborer named Mr. Joe. When he came in for the first time, he hesitantly asked, "I will be working under you?" Nyaya gently replied, "No, Mr. Joe. You'll be working with me. Here, we're all equals." That sentence became the identity of her company. Equal, dignified, purposeful. The principles of Nyaya Industries. Soon, the first batch of clothes designed for women workers was ready from her small unit. It received great appreciation in the local market. Nyaya took the first check from her profits and placed it in her mother's hands. "Mom, this is the first installment of your sacrifices." Marcia's eyes were tearful. "My daughter has truly laid the first stone for a world that could be better." Nyaya gradually progressed with her small factory unit. She realized that true success was not just in profits, but in earning respect and trust from people's hearts. In her factory, where people of different races, colors, and backgrounds worked, there was a new environment. An environment where everyone respected each other, where hard work was valued, and where everyone shared in the flight of dreams. But her journey to success was not as simple. One day, a large company placed an order with her factory, a global brand that wanted to buy her clothes. For Nyaya, this was an opportunity to take her business to new heights, but she immediately decided that she would remain true to her principles no matter what. When the representatives from the global brand arrived, they said to Nyaya, "Your prices are too high. We need cheaper rates. You'll have to lower your quality." Nyaya smiled and replied, "I cannot lower my standards. Our clothes are the best in quality, and your brand will not compromise on its standards either." The representatives were taken aback, and for a moment they fell silent. Then they said, "So, you want to walk away from us?" Nyaya didn't bow her head. Instead, she said firmly, "No, I don't want to walk away, but if your standards are compromised, it will be detrimental to our honor. I will never do that." From the other side, the response came, "We need to think about it. We'll contact you again." Nyaya told her team that they would never compromise on their honor, even if the door to success seemed small. "Anyone who doesn't give us respect, we cannot make them our partner." This decision was a victory for Nyaya's principles. After this, she invested more in her business and took another step forward for her people. One day, when the employees of Nyaya's factory were attending a big event, she said in front of everyone, "We are all like a team here, and when we all work together, we can change the world." The employees responded to her words with applause, and there was a sense of peace in Nyaya's heart. The peace that she had built a factory not just for profit, but for humanity as well. Nyaya's factory had now become a successful enterprise. The name Nyaya Industries was not only known in the local market, but across the country. Her clothes catered to people of all ages, races, and colors, and carried the message of respect, quality, and hard work in every heart. But Nyaya's dream was still not complete. One day, Nyaya was sitting in her office planning her next move. whether to increase the production of the factory or to expand into more markets. At that moment, a message came. It's time to step into the international market. This was a big step, and Nyaya knew that if she took it, her factory could become a model on the global stage. But there were risks, too. Language barriers, cultural differences, and business traditions in new countries. She thought for a moment, and then returned to her old principles. If we don't compromise on our dignity, we can succeed on a global scale, too. Nyaya gave her clothes a new look for the international market. A look that met global standards, but still carried the simplicity and hard work that she had established from the beginning. Her team had also expanded globally. She now had experts from every country who understood her vision and were ready to work with her. One day, Nyaya gathered her entire team in her office and said, "We are all here because we believed in our dreams, and now, the time has come for us to bring our dream to the world." She launched a new project, Nyaya Global, which would produce industry-standard clothes for women worldwide, but with the same foundation she had started with: respect, quality, and equality. A few months later, Nyaya inaugurated her first international office. Nyaya Global was now known around the world. It carried the same passion that she had started with in her small unit, and now she had successfully spread this passion on a global scale. One day, as Nyaya was having tea with her mother, she said, "Mom, remember, all of this is the result of your prayers and hard work. Everything I am, I owe it to your nurturing." Marcia looked at her and smiled. "You always said you wanted to change the world, and now you've succeeded in doing that. But remember, success is not just about where you've reached, but also about what you've done for others." Nyaya nodded and, holding her mother's hand, said, "We have, Mom. We have." Nyaya's factory had now become a global name, and its mission had not only taken her business to new heights of success, but had also brought changes to the lives of thousands of people. She knew that her journey was still not complete. She was now in the stage of creating a legacy. Nyaya always had one question in her heart. What would the purpose of my success be if I couldn't change others' lives through it? This question led her to a new journey, one in which she not only expanded her business, but also created opportunities for those who had never had them. She included policies of equality, education, and community development in Nyaya Global. A milestone moment came when she decided to dedicate part of her factory to community projects, where young girls and boys would receive free training to step into the world of factories. Nyaya also started another important initiative, an educational fund aimed at providing scholarships to children from poor families, so they could turn their dreams into reality. This was the biggest step of her life. She was now working not just for herself, but for the world. One day, as Nyaya sat in her office addressing the global team, she said, "What we've achieved is not just the result of hard work, but the result of a mindset that includes helping others. And this mindset will lead us to success in the future, not just in business, but for humanity as well." That same day, Nyaya launched the Nyaya Global Community with workers from around the world, with the goal not just to run a business, but to serve humanity. A year later, as Nyaya sat with her mother drinking tea, she said, "Mom, the day we created that factory came, and now this day has arrived when that factory is bringing change to the world. Now your dream has come true." Marcia smiled and said, "My dreams have always been with you, my daughter, and now you've made those dreams a reality." Nyaya held her mother's hand and said, "This is just the beginning, Mom. Now we will make the world even better." I want every girl, every woman to know that if we believe in our dreams, stay true to our values, and support each other, nothing can stop us. I am not just the owner of a factory, I am a promise to all those dreams that are waiting to come true.